Hey guys and girls, welcome to another video from Console Service Center. Today I'm going to show you guys quickly how to check a power supply. This is a PS4 Slim power supply. The model number is a ADP 160FR. So before we start the video, please, if you don't have any knowledge on electronics, please don't try this. That's why I don't even do videos on repairing power supplies. I might at a later stage, but it's very dangerous. This is why I don't really do videos, because there's caps inside here. They can keep charge, and they hold charge at 450 volts, between 300 and 450, and we're also using 220 volts power, so it's very dangerous. So today's video, I'm going to quickly show you how we test them with a little cable we made up, just an old power cable from a PS4. On the camera below where my finger is, right there, right here, you'll see this a test meter. This is the bench test meter we use to do our testing on our voltage and that. Let's just double check. I'm sure you guys can see properly. I'm just trying to see if I can adjust the light there a little bit. That's a little bit better. Alright, so first things first, again, when you grow a hole, when you're handling a power supply, don't put your fingers in here or in here, the bottom end where it's open or the back end where it's open. There are certain capacitors and everything that's charged inside, no matter which power supply you use. Then the second thing I just want to let you know is this cable is a 4-pin. Well, you can see it's got 4 wires. You can see it's got 4 wires, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some power supplies on the PS4 originals have 5 of these cables. Okay, these will give you 5 volts, and the point right there that goes into the board. This little hole here, there's 2 connections inside there. They give us 12 volt. But the 12 volt will not activate until we connect 2 of these wires that we're going to plug in here now. Okay, there you can see a little bit better on the tile. So it's just got the plug on the end. What I did was I took a Dremel and I just ground this plug down so it fits on any 4-pin power supply. So this is a 4-pin, obviously, so we can test it. So how it works is these cables give out 5 volts. Okay, the 12 volt on the power supply will not come on until you connect 2 of these together. Okay, so just move that out the way so you can see it a little bit better. So once we connect 2 of these together, it will activate the 12 volt on the power supply. Okay, so your power supply will not give you 12 volt until either those 2 or those 2 are connected. Just depends on the power supply that you're using. Sometimes it's these 2, sometimes it's those 2. I think on this FR it's going to be these 2. I'll just double check it. But keep on the test meter and then we'll plug it in and just see. Now remember, if your power supply is faulty and you do plug it in, there are components inside here that can explode. Okay, so I would highly recommend wearing safety glasses. And if you don't do electronics, don't do anything, yeah, okay, because it's not for you. It's going to shock you. I've been shocked many times through power supplies. Luckily it was only on the DC side and not the AC side, so it wasn't too bad. I'm just making sure that you guys can still see on the camera. Alright, sweet. Let's start by plugging in the plug. So let's just check which way this plug goes around. So the pins are on the top side, so we can plug it in that way around. Okay, because it's a modified plug, it goes in quite tight. Very tight. Okay, just make sure all of these aren't connected to each other. None of them are touching. Alright, so there's my 4 cables. So now we're going to plug in the 220. Alright, so now once I plug in the 220 volts, remember that's live. It's 220 volt in South Africa, not 110 like the States. Sorry about that. I don't know why Alexa thinks I'm asking her a question. Anyway, let's plug in the 220. Alright, so now we have live 220 volt power going in there. Alright, so keep on the test meter below there. So the first things we're going to do is check if we've got 5 volt coming out on the little cables. Just move that back for you guys a little bit so you can see the cables. Alright, so it doesn't really matter. You take any negative and positive, doesn't matter. So, what do we find there? We got no 12, we got no 5 volt. Very nice. So what do we say now? Probably a power supply problem. Is that a power supply problem? Yes, it is a power supply problem. Let's just make sure. Plug that cable out. Just plug one of my other cables back in there. So I usually got 2 sets. Let's try that again. Negative, positive. We are on DC, so we're not getting 5 volts. Alright, so our problem is that we're not getting 5 volts from this power supply. That's a pity, because what I wanted to do was now show you guys what the voltage would be. Let's just double check. Just make sure my plug is plugged in properly. Okay, again, I'm handling it with the 220 plugged in, so we've got to be careful here. Just make sure my plug is making a proper connection. Should be. Let's try that again. We don't want those to touch each other. So let's go positive there. Let's go negative from there. Still no voltage. So it's a faulty power supply. The problem is not on the board. It looks like it's going to be a power supply. So let's just, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to carry on with it now. I'm just going to grab another power supply so I can show you guys quickly. Just give me 1 sec. If I know how to pause the video. Okay, give me 1 sec, guys. You don't have to wait or fast forward. I'll just pause it and just keep carrying on. Okay, I grabbed another power supply here. Let's see what this one does. So yeah, that machine was already opened up, and I was told that it's not the power supply. So now at least we know it is the power supply. So let's just plug this one in, separate the cables from each other. So that's why it's always good to test different power supplies, or test a power supply like this. Let's just see if we're getting any voltage on this one. Camera's still okay. Okay, there and there. There you go. So this side we're getting 4.15 volts. As you can see on the test meter on the bottom right. Okay, 4.15, so that's good. That's what we want to see. Alright, so 4.2. Alright, let's check the other two. The other two are giving us 4.8. So usually it should be these two that we should connect. Well, let's just hope that usually is. Alright, let's pop those two together. So we're just going to connect those two together, and then we're going to check if we're getting 12 volts here. Alright, let's stick our probes in there. There we go. We're getting 11.9 volts. So that's how we know the power supply is working. So the other power supply is faulty. So that one was misdiagnosed. So at least we know now it's not the board. But this console, yeah, that's this one I took from now. This is going to be a problem, because this one actually doesn't come on at all with this power supply. And this power supply is a 160 ADP 160 FR. It's also FR, same as the other one. So if you've got an FR, remember it's the 2 left cables on the little plug. The 2 left, you connect them together. So what I want to show you quickly is if I disconnect these, the power supply now assumes that the console's power button has been pushed, okay? So that means the power button has been pushed and so on. So let's check now. See. So we're getting very low voltage, and it'll drop because the capacitors are now discharging. Alright, so we're getting 4.3, so it's going to go all the way to 0 until the capacitors have discharged, as you can see on the test meter at the bottom there. But now, as soon as I connect those two together again, the power supply gets told, okay, the button's been pushed, it's switched on, now I can give 12 volts. But now it's probably going to be right down, 1.3. Let's connect them back together again. Okay, let's just wind these two together. Okay, let's check it now again. And 11.9. So there we go. So that's the easy way to test the power supply. Again, like I say, if you've got a, just plug this out here quickly. If you have a 5-pin or any of those, you can just do exactly the same thing. You could just get a power cable from another, just put some light onto it. You could get another power cable, and you could just, from another console. And all you do is, usually this cable will have a plug on this side and a plug on that side. So the one plug would plug into the board, and then obviously the other plug would plug in. Okay, I've got to handle this carefully now because the caps are probably charged up. And then usually the other plug plugs into the power supply. So one goes into the board and one goes into the power supply. So just bring the camera a little bit lower. So what I suggest is, like I said, all other consoles except the, I think it's 240CR, is it right? 240CR, 240AR, can't remember. On the old, the first PS4, the PS4 original, I think it's the AR. No, it could be CR. That has a 5-pin, so you'll have 5 cables. And you're just going to have to check on the power supply which one is the switching cable, okay? But yeah, that's the easy way to test it. As you saw now, we thought, or the other one, the person that opened that machine or put a power cable up, a power supply into that machine that I tested before, they said it's not the power supply. It's something on the main board. So now we see that it is actually the power supply there. So nice thing is, at least you saw the first one. You could see what it does when there's no voltage on this little plug here. And if there's no voltage, obviously if you connect it to the 12 volts inside there, won't come on. I don't know if you guys can see that properly. Let's just bring the lights a bit closer. You see inside there, okay, the light's giving a bit of a glare now. But inside here, you've got a positive and negative too, okay? So 12 volt there. So as you saw now with that other one, when we took it out, we didn't get a 12 volt. Sorry, we didn't even get 5 volts. So obviously straight away that means that if we don't have 5 volt and we even connect them, we're not going to get a 12 volt, okay? Because it's a switching power supply basically. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you learned something today, please hit the like button. It helps with our YouTube. And subscribe and hit the notification bell. You know, at least when I bring out another video, simple little things like this, at least it just helps you guys do things a little bit quicker. And yeah, sorry I haven't been around for a while. Just been so busy with all different things. Plenty of little things that we're busy with on the side. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, subscribe please, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. Have an awesome day. It's 8 o'clock at night here in South Africa, so I'm having a late one tonight. Thank you very much guys. Cheers, bye bye.